just like in the movies.
Hello, hey, hi, howdy everyone. The name's Dover, welcome to the channel. And today's video is going to be a review of a solo player going through Gotham Knights. Now I have to say solo, because I only played it by myself. No friends, lol. But in any case, this game can be played 4-player, and it was developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal. Now this is the same company behind the Arkham Origins game. Not in the main line that Rocksteady made, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight and Arkham City. I did that 1, 3, 2. Apologies for that. Now this video, I want to go over a little bit of the story. There might be a little bit of spoilers. And the characters. I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed the customization. I really enjoyed their various play styles. Now again, this is an action beat 'em up kind of game, so their styles didn't really change much, you know, but the main thing is they were varied enough that I felt that I enjoyed my time with each character as their own entity. Now, let's get into the story. Now, we start off, Batman is being attacked by Ra's al Ghul. I prefer calling him Ra's al Ghul, but that's how they pronounce it in game, so that's how we're going to go. Now, Ra's al Ghul is pissed. Ra's al Ghul is just annihilating Batman. So much so that Batman resorts to the one last thing he could do. He blows up the fucking Batcave with him and Ra's in it. Now, this sets off a chain of events that leads to us playing as one of the 4 characters. Dick Grayson's Nightwing, Jason Todd's Red Hood, Barbara Gordon's Batgirl, and Tim Drake's Robin, respectively. Now, I chose to play as Nightwing for the majority of the game, despite actually enjoying each and every character's playstyle. Now, I'm going to go through the characters and their customization and their just playstyle to begin with. Do a little bit of the story. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. Right, so starting off with my main character, I played Nightwing for, I'd say, maybe 80% of the game. Now, he is the acrobat, he is the high flyer, he is bouncing around using his Eskrima sticks to just use the most insane evasive maneuvers, hitting with great combos. His ranged weapon is darts, wrist-mounted darts, and I didn't find them particularly useful till I got much later into the game. Got a little bit better gear, but overall he just felt really good to play. Then of course we have Red Hood. Now his main weapons were ranged weapons, and they were his dual pistols, and he is the ranged fighter, but he is also the tank buster. He is just pure, unadulterated strength. His abilities were either just unbelievable, I felt so good just hitting so hard with Red Hood. And then on the opposite end of that was Robin. Now he has a staff, and his ranged weapon was a slingshot, which I thought was weird. And he is stealth, he is like elemental build up, and taking out enemies just as quick as possible, you know, before the real fight begins, you know, setting up traps and stuff. I really liked his playstyle. I used him quite a bit if I wasn't Nightwing. Then, last but certainly not least, we have Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. The closest thing we get to Batman in this game. Now, she has her own little specific set of skills. She is the hacker. She can unlock so many different things, disable turrets, disable security cameras, the whole lot. She can even kind of enemies equipment, that sort of thing. She uses a taunt flash, she uses batarangs, you know, she even has a bat grappling hook, you know, she just short circuits some, she is like just a little bit of everything rolled into one, and she is no slouch when it comes to fighting. Now, for customization, we have a whole host of different suits, ranging from the early days. For example, Robin, he can look like Robin, he can look like different variants of Robin. He even has a suit or two based on his Red Robin design later on, in his career, that is. Not only do they have insane levels of customization, they also have variations. So the cowl, the insignia, the gloves, the boots, they can be altered themselves in various different styles, as well as different colour schemes. Now, a lot of them do rely on like the respective character, but there are some much in the way of, I can't remember the name, but it's based off Deathstroke, the orange, the blue. There's Atlantis with its greens and golds, and I found myself enjoying that level of customization. I really enjoy the kind of games where monkey brain, number go up, me do fire damage now. And I just really enjoyed that kind of, oh, it ticked so many boxes for me. However, the downside of the combat, I know I'm jumping a little bit, but speaking of customization and the characters and the combat, I felt that the game, it had a lot of clunky combat. The combat didn't flow as well as I would have liked it. Unfortunately, the game does get likened quite a lot to the Arkham series, the original trilogy that is. And if you've played those and then you go and play this game, you are in for a rough ride expecting, that fast, free-flowing combat, quick counters, dodges, quick gadget use. It's not here in this game. This is more of an arcade beat-em-up with, some wacky bonkers powers, in my opinion. But it didn't take away from my overall enjoyment. Yes, it was clunky and a little bit of a negative in my opinion, but it sort of lent itself to the appeal of the game. These are young crime fighters. These guys aren't on the same level as Batman, but, you can only stretch that so far, can't you? You can only stretch that so far. It's not the most intuitive of fighting systems in combat. It isn't, I can't lie, but it did not take away from the fact that I really enjoyed my time playing as each and every character, fighting different ways, utilising ranged combat with Red Hood, utilising more evasive moves and high-flying acrobatics with Nightwing, punching the ever-living snot out of people with Jason Red Hood was a treat, using Batgirl's assortment of gadgets was a treat. Playing as each and every one of these characters was a treat, and overall I would still say that is a positive in my opinion. But in any case, enough about the characters and that. Let's get on to the story. But I just want to say, in case you haven't played this game yet and you are interested in playing so, there's going to be a spoiler warning just about now. Now, we're going to get into it properly. The story starts off really intriguing. Obviously, like I said before, Batman is dead. He sends out a code to the 4 titular characters, and he wants them all to look into his last case, his last thing that he was looking into. And that's where we start our journey. We first go off and try and look out, for some clues, find some along the way, bump into Talia al Ghul, daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and the new leader of the League of Shadows. We bump into the Penguin, we get sidetracked to Blackgate Penitentiary, and bump into the Queen herself, Harley Quinn. More on her later. We even take a trip to Star Labs and bump into the most amazing version of Mr. Freeze I've ever seen, as well as Clayface. I really liked his storyline. These 3 characters, Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn and Clayface, all have their own little branching side stories. Afterwards, we go through the motions, we pick up a few more clues, learn that Penguin might know a little bit more than he lets on, visit him a few more times and he tells us, hey, go to this Powers Club. We go to the Powers Club. Turns out it's the Court of Owls, a secret society, and they've been running Gotham since Gotham's first inception, since Gotham became a city. We fall into a trap fucking meticulously set out, which then proceeded to give me the most embarrassing and infuriating gaming moment of my career in the hallway of absolute fucking... Enough of that. We escape, find a key, learn a little bit more about the Court of Owls. We discover that one of their head members is none other than Bruce Wayne, Batman's very own uncle, Jacob Kane. Now, we discover that he says, oh yeah, we actually knew about Bruce Wayne being Batman and we let him slide because, family, but now he's dead. They don't care anymore. They're going to take over Gotham and don't care who's getting in the way. They are going underneath one of the tunnels to mine secretly, basically fake Lazarus pit fluid. I can't remember the name of the metal or the substance that they use, but they use this substance to create basically zombie super soldiers that they call Talons. We eventually stop the Court of Owls. Well, at least we think we do. We capture Jacob Kane after assaulting his fucking fortress. Unfortunately, as he's being led away in cuffs, none other than the League of Shadows shows up. Fucking Talia al Ghul shoots him with a ghost shot from a bow and arrow. It was honestly awesome. And then that kickstarts off us chasing after the League of Shadows. A few more missions go by and we descend into yet another hole. There is a lot of holes in this game, a lot of traversal. We find Talia al Ghul yet again in ceremonial armour, looking pretty dapper, and she brings up this cage and bum bum bum, Bruce Wayne isn't dead. It was a Lazarus pit buried underneath the Batcave. There was a Lazarus pit there this whole time, no one knew. But in any case, the final fight is you playing as whoever you are, fighting Bruce Wayne and reasoning with him. You break free because he's a little bit loopy from the Lazarus pit fluids, and after inevitably beating him, don't ask how any of the Bat family can beat Batman, but in any case, well, at least in this game, after fighting him and he comes to his, his senses, Talia al Ghul wants a fight, and let me tell you, levels in this game really trivialise some boss fights. I know this was supposed to be this big, epic showdown. Unfortunately, I did a lot of side content, and I was a little bit over-leveled for it. Both Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul's boss fight, the penultimate boss fights, one after another, they didn't hit the same, grittiness that I was hoping for, like that, oh my god, I'm on the back ropes and I'm just now squeaking a victory through. But that's how the story ends. We beat Talia. Batman sacrifices himself again by using the destroyed remains of the Batwing to crash and destroy the Lazarus pits, taking a lot of the League of Shadows and maybe some of the Court of Owls with them. Oh yeah, the Court of Owls show up because there was this whole thing between the Court and the League of Shadows, and because it's the same stuff that they're using, and it was... I kind of zoned out at the last part of the story. No offence to the story, of course. It was just... oh, I don't know. It just... I just really wanted to be done with the story at that point. But it's so weird, I feel like I'm contradicting myself because I still enjoyed it. But with that, the game ends with one final video between Bruce Wayne making one of his contingencies in the Batcave. In the event of my death, number 205, with all the Bat family, Nightwing, Jason Todd, Tim Drake and Barbara Gordon, all sitting there, basically ribbing him and telling him, hey, come on, you can't be Batman all the time. And, he just kind of... this is sort of like his little, it's a lovely, sweet, touching moment for him. And that's how the game's story ends. Now, for me, it was a good experience. Overall, it really was. Despite some hiccups, some glitches, which thankfully I didn't have a lot of. I think some of the subtitles kind of flickered in and out, and Clayface's model didn't fully render in, which, I mean, to be fair, considering he was the only character that kind of looked a bit rubbery, makes sense because he's made out of clay, so that's not right. But overall, the game, I'd say, is really good. It doesn't, unfortunately, hold a candle to how tight and how gripping and how just overall amazing the Arkham trilogy was. But in my opinion, it still holds up as quite a good game. And this, honestly, is what I personally think that the Marvel's Avengers game should have been more like, as opposed to what we got there. But this isn't about that. This is about Gotham Knights. Now, unfortunately, I didn't play any of the Heroic Assault mode. I know that's where you want to get a lot of the really crazy good loot. I haven't touched New Game Plus, and this is basically me just at the end of the story, hit level 30. I know in New Game Plus you can go as high as level 40, get some of the last skill points in the whole shebang, explore more of Gotham and collect the batarangs lying around, find the street art and I can't remember the name, but it's pages from a very, very ancient book. Now, all in all, with the whole experience of it, with Their characters, the setting, how well paced majority of the game honestly was for me. The loot, I am a sucker for looters, be it a looter shooter, a looter beat 'em up such as this game, but I loved every moment of my time, even the frustrating parts. So I think I'm ready to leave my final kind of score for the review. Now, this might come as a surprise. I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. Now, to me, a 5 is okay. It's right there and smack dab in the middle. It's not bad, it's not great, it's good. A 6, it's good, but could be better. But this, a 7, is really good. This has potential. I only wish that there was more of the game, and that's all I really wanted from it. I'm a big Batman fan. I'm a very big, nerdy kind of person. So this game for me, honestly, with what I got out of it, it was a 7 for me. Now, if you guys want to pick this game up, I'm fairly certain it is on the PlayStation Plus catalogue. I think it's a recent addition. I got it through Game Pass. And, excuse me. And even if you want to go out and buy the game, it is, in my opinion, it is pretty damn good. No doubt it is so much better with friends or with randoms. But I hope that people can see this review and think, yeah, I'll give that game a bash. That game sounds like it's right up my alley, that's my cup of tea, as you will. Now, if you guys don't mind liking the video, subscribing if you want to see more, turn on the notifications, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, if I missed anything out, if anything didn't make any sense, maybe I could clarify some things. I'm very new to this, as you could tell, but I appreciate any and all comments, likes, just anything at all. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I promise, I will fight for you until my final breath.